continuous everything. Alongside the phases of the DevOps pipeline, you'll commonly hear people talking about continuous everything, continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment, and more. They do serve a purpose. Let's break down each one of these terms and how they relate to the phases of the pipeline. You'll often see the delivery process referred to as the CI/CD pipeline, with no clear indication of whether CD stands for continuous delivery or continuous deployment. Although you can rely on CI, referring to continuous integration in this context, it's not always clear how CI differs from the two CDs. How the two CDs differ from each other, or how the three might even be related. To complicate matters, the terms continuous delivery and continuous deployment are often used interchangeably, or one is used to represent the other. I hope to clarify some of this confusion in the next couple slides. I'll start with continuous integration, which refers to the practice of automating the application build and testing processes. After developers create or update code, they commit their changes to a source code repository. Now, this launches an automated build and testing operation that validates the code whenever the changes are checked into the repository. One of the biggest difficulties in coordinating a software development team is managing the collaboration of many developers, often in remote locations, on a single code base. This shared code repository is key to solving this problem. However, there could still be issues when merging the changes made by multiple people on the same piece of code. A change made by one developer may impact what somebody else is working on, and the longer developers wait to integrate their changes back into the shared code base, the bigger the drift, resulting in more effort and headache in resolving the issues and conflicts. With continuous integration, development teams can discover problems early in the development lifecycle, and the problems they do discover tend to be less complex and easier to resolve. Continuous delivery is an extension of continuous integration, which automates the process of deploying a new build into production. The goals of continuous delivery include performing automated testing on each new build to verify builds that are ready for release into production and fail those which are not. Managing the automatic provisioning and configuration of deployment environments, as well as testing of these environments for stability, performance, and security compliance. And finally, deploying a new release into production when approved and manually triggered by the organization. So continuous delivery aligns with test and release phases of the pipeline and allows for organizations to manually trigger the release of the new builds as regularly as they choose. Continuous deployment is a more advanced version of continuous delivery. It adds automation to the deployment equation, making it theoretically possible for changes to go live within minutes after the code has been checked into the repository and verified by the automated processes. The goals are the same, but the manual step of approving new releases into production is removed. In a continuous deployment model, each build which passes all the checks and balances of the pipeline are automatically deployed into production. CI and CD tend to get the glory when people talk about DevOps, but an equally important factor is continuous feedback. The whole point of DevOps is to release new features and fixes as quickly as possible so your organization can get feedback from customers, stakeholders, and analytics as quickly as possible to make better decisions when designing the next set of changes. The whole point is to achieve a strong continuous feedback loop to develop a better product. We discussed this in the 3 ways earlier in this course. It's continuous feedback that ties the end of the loop together, feeding back data and analytics from the operate and monitor phases back to the plan phase to do it all over again.